Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. Dale Carnegie. And my friends, that is because when you push through discouragement and you push through the failure, you then learn what you are made of. I have learned so much more from the mistakes I have made than from the things I did right. Talk to anyone who's successful in the market and they will tell you the same thing. And then what do? You keep rolling back, reducing those mistakes and charging forward with the profits. Let's jump into these charts. It is a day where everything is down except gold. Let's jump into the S&P 500 now. I will let you guys know, Patreon members, we've already emailed you the trade execution summary grid for next Monday, in addition to the June 16 5+ day ETF trading and analysis and execution plan for, of course, the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, 20-year bonds, gold, and the Bitcoin ETF HODL that we track on a daily basis. You also have the trade execution summary grid for Patreon members who for some reason are traveling. Maybe you didn't get the email. It's going into your spam filter. Who knows? It's already been uploaded at the Patreon site for you. If you want to have those materials on a daily basis to use for your practice trading the following day, you can become a Patreon member. We will release the day after the trade execution summary grids for everyone who follows here at the channel. So let's jump in first to the S&P 500, pulling back at the end of the week 1.12%. Now, again, you want to pay attention to that. We have been strongly bullish with a backtest accuracy up around 80%. But as things continue to move up, we have told you we have been seeing resistance, and that is up at the $610 mark, almost $611. We're at $597 right now. Rolled a little bit back here at the end of the week. Our 2-day chart went into a doji that has finished moving up at this point, and the candle has closed. And of course, we didn't reach the higher high. We have red volume, which means it opened lower than the prior close and closed with a doji. We can see on the half day where things were down in the morning and afternoon, decent volume there. Didn't quite make average volume this week like the week before last. Last week, that is the week beginning the 7th of June. I don't want to confuse you because we are going into a new week and this broadcast is for Monday. But that week beginning the 2nd of June was average volume week. This is a little below that. Hit a higher high during the week, but again, pulling back on Friday. We are still our directional probability is strong for bullish movement. Now our trade execution summary grid will give you the entry points, exit points, expected move, backtest accuracy, and the directional probability. Patreon members, check all that out. Let's move on to the NASDAQ 100. It's pulling back 1.26%. Again, you can see down in the morning and the afternoon sitting there on the weekly trend line, a red doji with red volume. It did hit right at average volume there on the 2-day, just a little below average volume like it has been for the prior 2 weeks also. But it's continued to crank up and getting near that high that it hit back in December and February. So we are keeping an eye on it. We are still quite bullish. Like I said, our directional probability, entry, exit points, expected move, and backtest accuracy are all in the trade execution summary grid. So again, continue to follow that for all of that information, Patreon members. Thank you. And let's look at where we are with 20-year U.S. government bonds. Now, where are we still? We are still bearish, and they did pull back about 1%. But my friends, we got right up to average volume. I've told you how I feel about this, what we've seen in the past when bonds move down and we have a red spinning top, or I'm sorry, a green spinning top or a doji, and things start to move over and you have average volume. You can see where things have repeated. That is our favorite pattern for jumping in, is a green spinning top after a plunging red down candle, wick on the bottom, no wick on top, nice volume, and a turnaround. We have not had a turnaround. It has been lagging the last 2 weeks. I call those dead weeks. We do have a green spinning top now. We shall look. Our numbers are still telling us that we're heavily bearish, and that may continue to play out, and the backtest accuracy backs those numbers up. But when I see a green spinning top with decent volume, it makes me think the bottom has been found. We'll see if indeed things turn around over the course of this next week. But they did, hammer down today, just about 1%. See, down in the morning and the afternoon, decent volume on that half-day chart, 2-day chart. We've got a green up candle with average volume. And again, things have slowly but surely been climbing these last many days since Tuesday the 27th, when we got our first green candle after a while on that 2-day chart. I tend to think maybe we've hit the bottom. We'll see as the week takes off. The numbers are not backing me up on that, but my experience is telling me that. And again, those numbers, probability, entry, exit points, expected move, and backtest accuracy are there on the trade execution summary grid. Now let's go on to gold. It was the bright spot. It was illuminated today, going up 1.31%. You guys know we have been bullish on gold throughout the course of this week. Entry and exit points, we know. Gold has, it looks like it's going to move up on to $322.72 before it hits some real strong resistance. And we shall see if gold continues to build on that. We see the high this week at 317.60. The prior high, 317.63. That was the week beginning the 21st of April. Then 2 weeks later, 315.62. So yes, 317.60, almost as high as where gold had shot up at 317.63. So gold, again, just continues to keep pushing itself up, up, up. Now, we're right at where it had hit before. Is it going to push through that, or is that going to be a level where it stops? Of course, our charts are showing it continuing to move up to 322.72. So again, keep that in mind. Check out the trade execution summary grid for the jumping in point and for the expected continued move in the backtest accuracy. Let's move on to HODL. Where is that? Well, as we look at HODL, we see that it has pulled back strongly, 1.55%. I say strongly, that's not really strong for Bitcoin, is it? But you can see where it's pushed right down on the weekly trend line, trying to push through on that half-day chart. About average volume there. Average volume on the 2-day, it's been at average volume, several days, going on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sitting there above the weekly trend line. And of course, we're sitting right there on the weekly trend line as of this week. Not a really super strong trend line. Yes, it connects two green up candles, but it's not hit a higher high. The high back on the 27th, the week beginning 27 May, was 31.34. The high this week, 31.24. So it's not hit that high again. And of course, in the middle, you had a red spinning top. But again, how are we? We are still bullish on Bitcoin. We do see some resistance around the $32.50 mark. So again, we'll keep an eye on that. But we hope to see Bitcoin just continuing to build as it seesaws back and forth on those smaller charts. That is where we are, my friends, as we close on Friday. Again, Patreon members, you have the email. You have access to the Patreon page, to the trade execution summary grid. Hope that helps you out a lot. We'll release today's grid at the end of the market on Monday. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.